This is it. Welcome to the Cannabis Coffee Hour. With your host, me, Rob Cantrell, coming back into effect. We are doing episode 228. Never late, right on time, never forced. Change your thoughts, change your mind. We're bird watching. We got a winter cold. I'm rhyming through the beat like I'm Eckhart Tolle. Tao Ching. Wow, man. I'm excited about this episode. I'm enthused. I'm ecstatic. I love the Cannabis Coffee Hour. This is the podcast where I have a little bit of coffee and I have a little bit of cannabis. And I get on the mic for an hour or maybe 45 minutes, and then I put some beats on it or some music that I'm working on or whatever, you know. I do find this podcast to be DIY, but, you know, it's pretty much me. And then we got producer Tim out there lining up some coffee. And just thanks to you, all the fans. It's been 3 years. I mean, this is, 220 episodes. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. We're going to talk about some TV. We're going to talk about you and me. The strike, I don't know. I'm on strike. Yeah. SAG-AFTRA all day. I support the unions. I think unions are a good economy booster to the capitalist society. Yeah, it's just good to have leverage all day. And the streaming is just weird. Oh my God. Now I'm drinking some iced coffee that I made from the Chemex. And it's because I had one cup of coffee. Yeah, what I wanted to talk about, 228, I'm just so thankful to be here because I did have a little bit of a winter cold. And just today I started feeling a little bit better to do the podcast, get on here a little late on Thursday. But isn't that the correct time? And it's always the correct time. It's always the correct time to drop a rhyme, not a dime. I don't care about the Barbie movie. I don't give a damn. A dime. No, it is exciting. I don't know. It is what it is, but it ain't for me. But it is kind of cool. I don't know. I just had that written down. I tried to go like, okay, with the podcast this time, I need to write down some stuff. And I wrote down, I'm not sure about Barbie. But I respect Barbie and I support Barbie. And if you like, that's what non-judgment and living in the moment. That's what I've been kind of digging. Instead of instead of being like, F them. But comedy, it's weird. It's always, you got to look at all the different angles. Yeah, I've been watching, like the last episode, I did watch the show The Idol. Man, was that a creep fest. I didn't dig it. It gave me a bum vibe. Yeah, and it's just so cheesy. I think it's a lot like Showgirls, but done artistically, avant-garde, strong. I don't know. But, it was shot really well. I'll tell you what was shot really well is The Mighty Gemstones. I was watching that, man. They showed this scene where the guy was on a dirt bike, and cinematically, it looked so ill and so much fun to shoot. It was like the main cat's, he's on the bike, and he's just revving through this, like the house. And it's like this acreage land down south. Yeah, Danny McBride. It was the son of Danny McBride. And he's just riding on this dirt bike. uh yeah, shout out to the Mighty Gemstones. I mean, you people watch what they watch when they watch, and I change up constantly. I like the Bear, that was cool. Um, what else? The Mighty Gemstones, and then a lot of Outcast videos. Bombs over Baghdad. I've been listening. If you want to hear a good hip hop tune, Bombs Over Baghdad is the one I've been keying into. That song is always up to date. But I guess maybe now it's even, I don't know. Time has been a big chunk since, 2003. That's wild. That's 20 years ago. It is what it is. Time just goes. And that's the gig. And you might as well have a little bit of iced coffee. And that's what I'm drinking here. And it's Stumptown. Producer Tim has been lining up coffee. Let's see here. I want to definitely, it's a single origin. And I just wanted to give it a shout. Because that's what it's all about. Let's see. Oh, there it was. You just take pictures of stuff in your phone and then you like remind yourself later. Yeah, this is Ethiopian. This is great coffee. This Ethiopian is always good, and I've been getting bags of Jakarta, like Indonesia. Ethiopia and Indonesia are both heavy places. I have been to Indonesia. I've been to Bali when I backpacked one time and surfed there. That's where I actually learned how to surf. It was just a perfect 3-foot wave right on the beach. It was sick. I would love to go surfing some more. Yeah, this winter cold got my whole body like super sore. I had to stretch out constantly. Shout out to the happy baby pose. Saved me a couple times this week. And I definitely do dude, touch your toes. That's the hardcore one. Just touching your toes from standing, not laying down, all the way over. That one. And then when you just feel that pain and you have to go towards it, oh, it's emotional. Yeah, I've been watching the Mighty Gemstones, watch The Idol. I've been thinking about bird watching. I've been watching, definitely some humble pie on YouTube. Definitely been listening to this podcast. And it's been like a week since I had some super lemon haze. I did get some great cannabis. And that's why I might be a little extra spacey. It's been like 7 days, and I did just come off a cold, but it's actually I'm actually the least pain-free that I've been maybe in 7 days. And I had a little bit of an achy back. So right there, it just zapped that. Yeah, my nose is still a little stuffy, but I got emergency. I got a vitamin C emergency. You got to always have emergency powder. And I'm not talking about hard drugs. I'm talking about actual vitamin C vitamins. But the crazy thing is fruit. What I did learn, and that's what's wild, that it's super lemon haze that I had. It's a great strain. And I feel absolutely amazing. And I'm just appreciative for life. It's a little bit later to be drinking coffee, but I didn't drink much coffee, and I haven't been doing much of anything. So this is actually a great thing for me to do, is sit here and podcast and talk about super lemon haze. Sometimes the SLH. It's a sativa dominant hybrid from Lemon Skunk and Super Silver Haze. It's a Cannabis Cup winner. I think that's when I was there. Let's see. Let's see if they put the year. But it's really creative, which is a good thing. Which is a good thing for a podcast. you gotta have the creative strain, and relax your brain. I hope this is coming out right. I hope the sound is good. Let's see. Gotta turn it up. Oh, that. Okay. See. All right. Check. That might be better. But that's the listening. Well, I don't know. No, I think that is the feed. But it's overdoing it. Sound design, sound control. That's what learning to do a podcast, sound waves. Learning sound waves and recording sound waves. And when you see the waves going, you know you're flowing. Sound waves are always cool to look at, and so is equalizers, especially with the lights. What's so ill about an equalizer, but it's so great? All the lights. It goes with the music. You know, the lights and the music. That's a big thing in hippie culture. Shout out to the Dead and Company doing some shows out to end their big tour out in San Francisco. I definitely watched some of those videos. They were sick. Shout out Bigfoot, my friend who is a graffiti artist, and he follows the Dead and sells t-shirts. And that guy's an amazing high-end artist, man. And he follows the Dead. I think they do. I don't know much about the graphic design world. But he's like a famed graffiti artist. And he sells these great t-shirts, the Mighty Weir, or the Incredible Weir. And it makes him look like the Incredible Hulk. Bob Weir looking ripped up there on stage, putting it down since the 60s. Jeez Louise. That's a good saying. Jeez Louise. Because when you say Jesus too much, everybody's like, okay. But jeez Louise, no. Jesus is so heavy, you know. Jeez Louise is she just shows up and is like, what's up? You guys want some cakes? You want some cookies? What's going on? Jeez Louise is in the house. About to turn it out. Yeah, I love drinking a little. That's the thing about the Chemex and the iced coffee. Like, you don't think you're going to drink iced coffee anymore, but it actually makes the best iced coffee. I got like this metal industrial like cooler. And so I did like a hot Chemex. And then I put a bunch of ice in the metal cooler. Like it's just a cauldron of cold. And put a bunch of ice cubes in there. And then I pour the Chemex already kind of chilled out. But I pour that over that. And then I put some vanilla flavored almond milk. And just a little bit. Just to cut it. And that's what I'm drinking now. And I haven't had coffee in a week. Or at least like 3 days. So if you ever have a cold, this is the technique I just picked up and learned. You get a fresh lemon. And you get some honey. And then whatever tea you got around, maybe non-caffeinated, maybe green, whatever. But really you could just squeeze the lemon and then pour some hot water on that and then put some honey in there. And bammo, that will knock out most funk. I just learned that. Like, I remember that. Homeopathy. You know, I always would rather go homeopathy than buying over the store. But I did have an aspirin this week. I got crazy, kids. I had an aspirin. My back was thrown off a little bit. I worry about my back. Maybe I was stretching too much. I did do 20 minutes of meditation. It's been hard. I like broke down a couple times. So I could tell when I was really sick, I couldn't do it that long. Like I would hold like 12 minutes. But you can't like judge yourself. You just got to keep it moving. And you're like, oh, that's how it is today. And just getting better and the body healing. Like it took me a few days. I think I gotta. We're gonna shoot a couple like live videos. I don't want to hype it up too much. I always want to keep in the flow of the show and just try to do every week at least have something to talk about and get on the mic about and shout about some coffee and some weed. Shout out this great Stumptown Ethiopian single source joint. It is amazing ice coffee, and I had this chilling in ice for the afternoon in the metal cauldron of ice, and I had it chilling all day. After I had like one hot cup, and then I saved the rest for the evening because I knew I had to do a podcast. And now I have it in my Pink Floyd coffee cup, Dark Side of the Moon. The Dark Side of the Moon. I'm not even the biggest Pink Floyd fan. I never was. I mean, I kind of dig them, and you kind of like, oh, I'm gonna get stoned, listen to some Floyd, but they do have some jams. They definitely have some songs that are super legit. And then as a band, I have gotten into them. And they're very high-end art meets super rock. Art meets showbiz. Art meets the music biz. There's always been like that art band. The Who was like the art band. A little bit funkier, a little bit cooler, a little bit more thought out, I guess. Or, everything, you can't really put one thing over the other. That's what I'm learning with the Taoism is just like when you're in the moment, you have to accept everything as it is and who they are. Because that's all, you just got that moment. Flowing, flowing, flowing. Going, going, going. I'm going to go out and do some shows this weekend. I'm going to be at the Eastville Comedy Club in Brooklyn. And then I'm going to be I'm doing a set there on Friday. And then I'm going to be at the Bell House with Joe Pera on August 8th. And that should be fun. And Dan Licata. Those guys are a trip. And, I'm still getting used to everything opening up. And I'm working on some other things to put out there, but mostly just going hard on this podcast. I'm trying to get some films. I'm getting some equipment together to shoot some live video episodes. So but filming stuff is like almost like you're going. I did see an interview of like Neil Brennan saying like for directing, like you're going for a war against time. And there is a little bit of realness to that. But at the same time, with the Cannabis Coffee Hour, I'm trying to make it a little less chill and doing it all, not less chill, doing a lot of it myself, but then trying to pivot and doing some more stuff. And just keep pushing, the show outside, inside, and out. What's it all about? I definitely see it like, with music and evolving kind of with all the technology right now. The cannabis scene is nuts. Silver Lemon Haze is amazing. And so is Bob's Over Baghdad. And especially this article I pulled, Your Brain on Psilocybin Mushrooms. Like, I haven't done any mushrooms in a while. But this just came on Your Brain on Mushrooms. What happens to your brain? This is from the Third Wave. I don't know what the Third Wave is. I think it's a psychedelic. Yeah. Join the third wave of psychedelics. So, third wave mission is to nurture the emerging psychedelic ecosystem by providing individuals with research-based education, access to vetted providers, and membership in our global community, a safe space to ask questions share experiences, and connect with others on a similar journey. Wow, these guys are, oh, whoa. Psychedelic guides. Um, it's amazing. Check that out. I kind of just got lost in the site there. uh, let's see here. Hmm. Yeah, but the thing that what was I don't know. It was mm, mm, mm. What happens to your brain when you ingest psilocybin mushrooms, psychedelic mushrooms? Yeah, I wanted to read this. Many of the magic mushrooms' neural mechanisms are still uncharted, but research indicates psilocybin is the primary psychoactive compound responsible for their psychedelic effects. Psilocybin breaks down the bioavailable compound psyllium in your body. Psyllium binds with serotonin, dopamine, and uh, adrenergic receptors affecting mood, visual input, emotional processing, and perception. Psilocybin also reduces blood flow to the amygdala, the brain's fear and anxiety center, while reorganizing communication networks and forging previously non existent connections. Oh, wow. See, that's why I wanted to read it. It actually breaks down fear and anxiety and kind of make your thoughts kind of come together. And that's how it is. Like, it's just after I saw like a show, I don't know, it was like some Discovery Channel show about how psilocybin like talks to each other on the planet Earth. Like they're the one highly intelligent, communicative plant, and how they grow and how they interact. So it tells you that we're all super connected. In the ego, that's a lot of it. But I don't, you doing a podcast and preaching about ego, I don't know. There's something paradoxically opposed there. But you have to accept the paradox. Dropping my phone. I actually try not to be on my phone, and I haven't been. Social media, I don't know. It's still, check out my Instagram, Rob88Cantrell, and check out the Cannabis Coffee Hour YouTube. It's the best YouTube station out there. That's all I'm going to say. The interviews are amazing, and I'm just going to keep on trying to make it a little bit better and a little bit more outside and getting. But I like doing the inside ones too. We're growing, we're flowing. We're reading about mushrooms, watching Outcast videos, smoking some herb. I've been watching Break Fresh, some break dancing. Love the world. Shout out to Break Fresh NYC. I've been following these dudes for a minute. It's very straight up old school breakdancing. Shot really well and clean and mean. The world of media is like, that's what I find also exciting about doing this podcast is playing with the media, being able to learn cameras and microphones, and then strategizing and doing it every week, whether it's audio or video and audio, guest or not guest, coffee and cannabis. I don't want to smoke too much. Like I had some right before the show, and I feel amazing, but I also want to feel it out. As you can tell, I have a little bit of a stuff, but as I said, I'm really on the other end of it. I'm just chugging some more emergency and a little bit more seltzer. Oh man. Today I had 2 eggs and spinach. 2 eggs over hard and spinach. That's another good meal. When you have a cold, these are the good meals. Chicken noodle soup, and you cut up kale, and you put the kale in there, and you cook it all together. It's amazing. Anything with chicken noodle soup is amazing. And then, what's the other one? Lemon and honey. Fresh lemon, fresh honey. You're rocking it. And then a packet of Emergency and some Silver Super Lemon Haze when you're all done. I wouldn't recommend, like I said, I was going like 7 days, I think I caught this cold out at, I don't know. I don't want to say the place. But I remember I was inside a little too long. And it was a lot. It was at a show. But I don't know. I think I've been just running, got myself tired. That's what you do in life. That's how it happens. And I haven't had that many colds, so it's like, and then getting it during the winter is funky. But you know what helped me is this blister on my lip. I saw it heal right before. I just went through having my blister lip. The sun, when I was walking out in the sun, I got a big blister on my lip. I didn't put on any medication, didn't put it on any sunblock, and it just got in there. Got in there and just lit it up. But now it's down to like a tiniest scab, but it was swollen like for 5 days. But it's amazing how the body heals. And I feel great now. Now it's like non-existent. It's wild. Can't ever complain. You try not to. Especially when there's a little bit of some coffee and weed and a podcast to do. And I got some comedy to do, and I don't want to blow up my spot too much, but I am working on something else to put out there that I'm excited about. But I'll figure out how to present it. Because with with all of the writer's strike and everything, you gotta, I'm gonna go hard in the podcast. And then I'm also going to keep on writing and put out this other thing that I'm excited about. Something that you guys can come out and see. And I'm excited to bring the Cannabis Coffee out there and do events too. That's happening. That's in the works. I'm talking to a few shops. Like every place that I've done something, like I've learned from it, Just to be here at episode 228, either solo or with an amazing guest. But I do need to take it out there more in the field. Go check out Break Fresh NYC on YouTube. The B-Boy owned and originated from NYC. They're good. But I don't even think I could do that right now. I mean, I'm athletic and everything, but just to get down on the floor and break out. But I don't know. It doesn't matter. When you have enthusiasm or you're in the moment, even if you're old as hell, you see people throw out their hands and start dancing, man. At the church. The Mighty Gemstones is a great show. Shout out Eric Andre that was on there, man. He was hilarious. That is like my favorite show. I'm going to keep on watching it. But I need to get into watching a couple more older films. That was fun watching that Some Like It's Hot. And I want to, do some film reviews here on the Cannabis Coffee Hour. That would be fun. But I don't like judging things. So maybe it'd be like, especially if it's like trying to go out there and make money, and I know people that are I don't want to be that guy. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with that. I guess I want to watch old movies and talk about them. I definitely want to see Beat Street again and talk about that. That would be a great podcast. Just watching Beat Street with a guest and doing bong hits and drinking coffee. I do love music documentaries. Like, I love watching music documentaries. I mean, the band, The Last Waltz, that is like one of the greatest things ever. I had it on back in the day. I had like all of Gary Shandling's show, Larry Sanders. I had all the seasons of Larry Sanders. I had all those videotapes, and then I also had The Last Waltz on videotape. And that opening song on The Last Waltz at Winterland is amazing. I don't know. I'm still fascinated by 60s bands. Like, stuff that's good just is good. And, like, Led Zeppelin's just good. And what else? Pink Floyd is good. Led Zeppelin is good. What do? Oh well. It's been a while. It's been a while since we've talked. It's been a while. What about? Yeah, I've been doing like these 5-minute breathing techniques. I don't. Ah, I don't know who that was. Hopefully, it didn't come through. 5-minute breathing exercise for relaxing and healing. I wanted to check that out. That's the type of stuff I'm pumping. That's the type of music I'm listening to on YouTube. Some breathing techniques, some Wayne Dyer, and some definitely some music. Definitely some Dead and Company. Ah, shit, man. At Oracle Stadium. Oracle. The name Oracle. Now, they are a software company. And, yeah, I know about them because I did have a real job at one time where I worked with Oracle. They're a software company. It's like IBM and then Oracle Information Systems. And they're really good. They're like really expensive, and the developers I don't know if that came through or not, but that is live dead, and maybe it wouldn't get tracked because and I don't think it comes through the taping. I don't think it was. But the Oracle's the craziest thing about that show that I saw. And I had friends. That's the good thing about Instagram, is that I like to see concert footage. Please put up more concert footage. Other people are like, don't take your phones to the concert. I'm like, do take your phones to the concert because I ain't going, and I want to see I want to see Janet Jackson Rocket, man. I want to see I want to see Grateful Dead, that drone. Oh man, those drones are crazy with the crazy eyeball. They did this like psychedelic thing. I would love to see that. I would have loved to have been at those shows. I'll go to one soon enough. I'll put it out there in the universe, and that's what kind of happens. Cause yeah, I would have loved to go out to San Francisco and see the band. Let me see if I never saw him in San Francisco. That would blow me away. Like San Francisco, you think of the Grateful Dead, but that's what's so crazy about that town is that it has this like super dense music history going on. So there's every scene that you could think of. There's a San Francisco hip hop is legendary. E40, Tupac, all of that, what is it? Fizz music. Mac Dre. Yeah, he was a big SF guy. But there was a band, Most Slack Chill Mob were great. That was in Gaio's band. And they actually got this House Award SF Weekly Band of the Year from San Francisco, which is a big deal. Santana hangs out there. I need to go out. Everybody loves a little bit of California. The Grateful Dead, that's what they're all about. Californians are all about California. New Yorkians are all about New Yorkians. But Everybody's about everybody. No matter where you are, that's where it's not where you're from, it's where your head's at. No matter where you are, that's it. And I can make the simplest world great, with a little bit of coffee, a little bit of weed, got my water, got my yoga pad, did some meditation, did some stretching, doing some writing, getting out there, doing some walking, getting my lips sunburned. Rough. But great. Fun. I can't wait to get out there and do some more shows, but I'm angling a whole different thing right this second. And I'm trying to let things come to me a little bit. And I want to do some more rooms in Brooklyn and kind of work out some material. And then prepare it for like a special or a stand-up album. Along with the podcast. So all of these, like, I've never in my life had more of a clear thing, but I can't talk about it. I just need to do it. But like all these little rough things, and all of them were super minor as I look out to the world, there's so much suffering. And then you're just like, wow, what's my bullshit all about? But your bullshit's your bullshit. And that's the gig. So you're trying to keep your bullshit down. Just trying to keep my bullshit down. Let's see. Yeah, bird watching. I just wrote that down because I was thinking about a short film. But yeah, right now I'm just getting over this cold, drinking emergency, just being thankful, doing my the gratitude journal is dope. Gratitude journals are great. Writing shit down is great. That's what's so great about graffiti, because it's just like, yo, I'm putting this down no matter what. I'm putting this big. I'm putting this strong. Graffiti is so... I want to definitely get some graffiti writers on this podcast. They fascinate me. I mean, Wild Style Wars is one of my favorite films. I mean, Style Wars is ill. But my friend, Petey says they're still on Instagram and people are beefing and all kinds of stuff. Yeah, it's an underground world, man. I'm not messing with those cats. Street kids. New York street kids in the 70s and 80s. Art coming out of nowhere. That's something out of nothing. It's out of expression. And it was so vivid. I mean, I just loved graffiti so much, especially just like when hip hop, like when it went from just being ugly to like super hyper pyro thought out art. Like, God, how did it get there? I really think I just thought about it. And then I was like, it's probably it's competition, because people were getting their name up and becoming famous by, putting their name up. And then it's for the love of going out there. I don't know. I do love art. I love doing it. I've always loved drawing bubble letters and stuff. Making something out of nothing. Making something that hasn't been there be there. That's what we're all doing. All the time. And that's what's fun about doing this podcast. And where I see it going. And as I'm healing up, drinking seltzer. And I'm loving this afternoon coffee a little too much. It's about done. There it is. Oh, a whole cup of iced coffee. And I couldn't feel better. If you ever want some Stumptown and some super silver haze, that's where it's at. Some Indian... This is Ethiopian. Yeah, shout out to Ethiopia. I need to get to Africa. I need to go everywhere, but at the same time, it's like, you just got to be happy with where you are and just kind of like, I'll put that out in the universe and then you end up over there. But traveling to other countries is like psychedelics. I always say that. Like when you go to other countries, it's like you're naturally tripping because you're going into another universe where they have a completely different culture, completely different language. and geography, but it's all the same. Same, but different. I always loved that saying, same, but different. Same, but different. That's everything. Same, but different. Everything organic, or every country, like, it's just, there's an M&M everywhere, dude. In Ecuador, there's an M&M of Ecuador. There's an M&M of Brazil. There's like the number one rapper of Italy for like 20 years now. Everybody's got everything. Especially with the internet, like anybody can do whatever they want in terms of art almost. It's all about the hustle and putting stuff out there. But that's the only problem, is that everybody's doing it. So, yeah. And I struggle with social media, and like I hate when it takes too much of my world or my disk drive. But at the same time, I really think it's good PR, like just getting shows out there and all that. So I don't know. Damn if you do, damn if you don't. But I think a lot of it is we all got to make these choices with all this stuff, and just make the choice for you, and not judge others on their choices unless it's fucking your shit up. But you know what I mean. Like that's what's cool about Taoism, is like it's kind of like the art of being yourself. So you just kind of rock yourself and do it your way and let it reverberate. And I have always had my own way of doing stuff, and so do you. Everybody has their own way of doing shit, whether it's smoking or drinking coffee. Everything is an original piece of stardust, is what they're all about, man. That's what I think people love about the Grateful Dead, is that they do all these different shows and all these different songs. But every night it's a little bit different because they jam out, bruh. I definitely have been listening to a lot. Anything that chills you out is good these days. Are people still listening to? Yeah, everybody. There's a time and place for everything. And even now, I'll definitely listen to some. I mean, I always love Nirvana, Soundgarden, Foo Fighters. All the 90s stuff definitely has a place. But I don't want to look at anything like in retro. And but now with so much stuff at our fingertips, it's like you just want sounds that are new and kind of push it a little, I don't know, change it up. After a while, but then you like what you like. And you only have so much room for what you like. I'm at that point where I'm going for the coffee cup, and I know there's no more coffee. That's the last of the Chemex that was iced down in the ice cauldron, the metal ice cauldron. There's something about the Chemex and just pouring it over ice that it makes a really decent cup of iced coffee. That's what I've learned. Is that you don't, with the French press, I used to put, if you want to make ice cold brew with the French press, you just put the water in there like you would make coffee, and then you put the coffee in there like you would make coffee, but it would be, you would put it in there and just put cold water in it, and then you put that in the fridge for 12 hours, and that would make the coffee. Overnight, like you see places like, dude, this is 12-hour cold brew. This is 17-hour cold brew, man. This is 48-hour cold brew. They're not even touching this brew, man. And it does cook it, and it does make it extra caffeinated. But this isn't that this doesn't do that, but the flavor is still there. I don't know. For some reason, the Chemex iced coffee tastes delicious, like almost to the point where it's like liquid chocolate. If you put the, what I'm putting on there, which is the almond milk, vanilla flavored almond milk on iced Chemex coffee, Stumptown, Ethiopian, single source, a jug of water. And you too could do a podcast about the Cannabis Coffee Hour, but don't. I'm out here. Now, you got to do what you got to do. But I enjoy doing my podcast, which is the Cannabis Coffee Hour, where I drink coffee and have some cannabis and talk to you, put on some beats, put on some lights, and rap out. But I think I'm going to sign out right now. I'll put some beats and do that, and we'll call it a day. I don't want to push myself coming off this funky cold, but I also got some other stuff to do. That is the show. So I'm trying to do like stockpile a bunch of shows. So that's what I'm kind of trying to push. But I hope you enjoyed this episode. Love yourself. Love your mama. I love you. Be good to the universe and insects. Only kill them if you have to. But at the same time, send it out.